Hi everybody, this is ProbablyRed. We are starting our journey this month in a new league. The Whispers of the Throne has come out, which has nothing to do with actually the league cards and stuff, but as far as the story goes, Vara is tempted by the power of the throne. And I'm really excited for this league, guys and girls. I'm so hyped. It's been a while since I played in the league. So let's click the chest. Okay, that's our new back. We will definitely equip that. I love that we can equip it immediately. That is a great change. Shout out to Direwolf Digital for making that. So we're gonna go into profile. We're gonna pick that up real quick. Personalize a little bit. Also, I'm going to go with that number. And then, I really liked the ECQ Aftershock card back, and I'll definitely use it again. But right now, we are 100% in for the Whispers of the Throne League. Let us see what is up. Alright. Now that we got that taken care of, let's jump back into event. Woo. Okay, let's open these packs up. Let's start with the Flame of Zolta pack, see what we got in here. Alright. Omri's Choice is awesome. Man, we got just a lot of different cards to look at here. Unkindness, I like Unkindness, it's kind of swingy. Makar's Bloodwolf is a pretty solid card. I feel like it's really one of the stronger cards. If we're going aggro, Warbrush Oni is really decent. What else do we see here? Kodosh, the Evangels are nice. I like Kodosh Evangel. Lifesteal's good. Once again, like I said, Omri's Choice. +3/+3 Overwhelm is a pretty good trick, and then Silence can attack the enemy and returning it to enemy hand can be really nice. If we get enough dragons, we might do a Skywatch Zealot potential inclusion. And Bloodseeker. Okay, so that kind of opens us up potentially for mill, but we have to get a lot of mill cards, like a lot of mill synergy, I feel like, to actually be able to play that in something like sealed. I mean, I think 1-drop 2/3 that deals the damage to each turn by itself is playable. I'm not saying that we can't run Bloodseeker if we're running Shadow, and it might even pull us into Shadow because it's a adventurer, bold adventurer body, and it's a 1-drop. Only downside is that it is a kind of that constant ping. So I think it's a solid card here. Okay, what else we got? Wretched Raven, there's a little bit more on the mill side. I like Sky Horror Draconis since we're playing sealed. I think that there's a potential we'll be getting to 7. Shout out to HatsOnLamps. I just came from watching his stream. He does Farming Eternal with Parmalee, and that was an excellent stream tonight. And he was running 2 Sky Horror Draconis in his deck on Skycrag Splash and Time. So yeah, awesome Twitch stream every Tuesday and Wednesday. HatsOnLamps. Okay, so Warbrush Oni's once again good if we're going aggressive. I like the draw strength. I think it's a really potent card if we're in Justice. And then another Kodosh Evangel. And Flick Conscience I think is runnable for sure. It is definitely a decent removal. I mean, it's kind of lower as far as removal goes, but it's definitely playable. Cult Recruiter's the same kind of deal, but the double time's kind of hard as in a 4-drop, but it's a removal that leaves a body potentially. Even if it is situational removal. The Edict, I might be able to run the Edict main board, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to get a feel for format. I feel like Edict is really great. The can't block isn't super fantastic. I like the automatic effect, the 1 damage unstoppable by Aegis. I think it's better than an enemy can't block, but a 1-drop hitting Time and Justice versus Justice and Primal, yeah, I think that I prefer Edict of Makar over Edict of Shopka overall. And then Teething Whelp is great. This is fine. I still wouldn't want to run it even if we were pretty heavy into the discard plan. And then Geminon's Berserker. let's see, 5 cost, fire, primal 4/4 with Aegis and Berserk. And then when they hit the enemy player, kill an enemy attachment. This card is awesome. Like, this definitely kind of pulls us into Skycrag, which I'm excited about. I love Skycrag. It's one of my favorite faction combinations. So sweet. Let's start opening some Echoes packs. Ooh, starting off strong with a legendary. There's a token of Menace, so that's nice. Edge of Prophecy is really awesome if we're in Creation. It's like close, even with a little bit of buff. It is as strong as a sort of Sky King. It's kind of susceptible to hand silence. I'm trying to think of a card that actually can hand silence it in this sealed format. I don't know if there is one. Comment in the comment section down below if you know of a card that can hand silence Edge of Prophecy in the sealed environment. Just out of curiosity. Display of Menace. This is let's see. I think this is one of the better displays. It's got that relic kill, and I feel like the void bound on relics is a little bit more relevant in this format, where it's gonna be slower and like people are gonna have access to a bunch of different stuff. I think like turn back times will be ran more often. The deal 1 damage to each enemy is a little bit less relevant I feel like, because like the card quality is gonna be a bit higher unless someone's really on aggro. So that's kind of a trade there. But the sacking unit, if I'm building around the sacrifice, I think that's great. I think that third ability is like the real key to Display of Menace. So I think it's pretty decent. Kindling Carver, I think I can definitely build a good Kindling Carver with the pool, depending on what we get. Rage is alright. Nesting Raven. Nesting Raven's okay, I guess. It slows down the enemy a little bit. Magnificent Stranger is, as it says, magnificent. It's good in every format it's in my opinion. Except maybe, I mean, it still gets ran and thrown. I think you can still build decks where you're running Magnificent Stranger and Throne, even though it's a little bit weaker than that format, like generally implies. It's a strong card. It's really good, and it's great in this format, which is what we're thinking about right now, anyways. Overlook Spotter, I think, is a pretty solid card. 2 cost 1/3. The pledge is nice, and then it's got kind of like that. What is it called? I think it's Bloodseeker. The 1-drop 2/3 we were just looking at a second ago from Flames of Zolta. Anyways, but so it's kind of like on the mill plan, but I think it's still like you know. And then we got Spore Spitter, which becomes pretty good on the mill plan. Willbreaker's pretty decent, and I think it can do some damage against some of the flyers in this format. Like it can definitely hamper them, and if there's any curse energy, it gets even better. The Corrupted's nice. Restrained Action. Man, we just blew through the Restrained Action. I don't know why I clicked down here instead of up here. So we're gonna flip that now so I don't make the same mistake. Boom, there's a tradition channel. Let's talk about the Restrained Action we just got. Awesome relic, big relic, and lets us just keep playing units over time, but it is kind of slow. I feel like we have more time to do something with it this format though. So it's worth considering. Thunder of Wings, that's pretty solid. That's an aggressive card. 3 costs for a 4/2. All I gotta do is exhaust a unit, and then if not, 5 costs off the top, off the top deck. Dying Sim Tapestry, I don't think we're getting very far with that card. Brood of Airmont could pull us into blue. Like I'm seeing some pretty strong blue-red cards now, but it might be because I'm looking for them. Tradition Chant's really solid. Just the chants are pretty solid in general. A little bit better than Seek Powers in most cases, especially if you're in 2 of those colors at least. And if you're in 3 colors, it's great because of the Invoke. Fear Tracker, we got a 5 cost, 5/4, deals 2 damage to enemy player and you gain 3 life with the Corrupted. I think this card's awesome. Big beefy unit to block and aggress the opponent, so kind of helps with that. And then the Corrupted 4 for like 6 direct damage, 6 life gain if you could pull it off. Like, shouldn't be hard. It's a summon and a corrupt effect. So yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. Radio Chart Paladin's alright. I like the Sky King Storyteller. I think I like the Sky. Yeah, I like the Sky King Storyteller a good bit. Once again, Overlook Spotter. Siege Provisions, we can throw a Siege Provisions in there if we're running Justice. Dive Bomb's a really, really great card, and so is Rectifier. Turn back time if we're in time and we need one. It's good to have, especially if we're not in Shadow and don't have other like options. But it can pull out relics, it can pull out spells, so it's decent. It's really decent. Okay, so we got the Unfamiliar Interloper. That's really great for fixing. It's probably going to get run because we're going to be looking for playables, and it's colorless and it gives any influence. So if we're going 3 colors, which is there's a pretty good chance we are, it could just be ran. Another Magnificent Stranger is nice to see. Not super high on Zolta Exile because there's not a lot of weapons. It depends on what weapons we get. The Stow Powder Bomber is definitely something that we can consider running if we're in fire. Because the Exalted is nice, and it's a 6-drop 5/4 body, but I think we'll probably have better high cost units, and if we're not aggressive, that's when we would consider Stone Powder Bomber. But our second or third color would probably be where we'd get high cost if we're not finding anything in fire other than Stone Powder Bomber. Yeti Cookmaster is not a card I'm super interested in. I'm hoping I don't have to run this. Book Club Lady is the exact opposite. These two are sitting next to each other, and the Book Club Yeti is definitely winning as far as how I rate these cards. I like the Book Club Yeti a lot. So, excellent card. Another Fear Tracker. That's great news. Unless I just talked about that Fear Tracker. No, it's in like the same position in the pack, so I think I just talked about it, but either way, Fear Tracker is great. And then Corpse Bloom is an awesome card if we're in time. That's awesome. Spellbound Vestige, I don't know if we're going to run it unless we're definitely on spell damage, and even then, yeah, I think it's worse than the 4-cost 0/4 that sat, like when it dies, the Entomb effect is to bring Cinder Dragon to your hand. The Toda, Cinder Toda, I don't know, but it's a 0/4 for 4. With Entomb, you get a Cinder Dragon, and it makes your dragons cost 1 less while it's on the battlefield. Can't remember the name of it. And then Jadehorn is awesome. If we're in Justice, we're probably going to be playing Jadehorn. It's excellent. It doesn't even matter if the summon ability doesn't actually hit on a relic weapon, which if we have a chance to, we would love for it too. Getting attacked twice, especially if the first time doesn't kill it, like if we actually get to pull that off, it's a really powerful effect. And then getting to do that again with a 3 armor bonus on the Corrupted 6, or get another chance at it with a Corrupted 6, it's already playable at being a 3-drop 3/3 Pledge Warcry. Like, and then everything up from there is just gravy. Whoa. Okay, another legendary. That's awesome. Let's start over here. Let's click it so we don't do a quick skip. Oh, okay. Pale Rider's Timepiece. This card is awesome, but man, do we have to be heavy into Shadow. I think we're going to try to pull that off because I love this card. This card is awesome. The Witching Hour is a really, really thematic, fun card. It's not like we're going to be playing, like, just pouring out 12 power most games. But when we do, that's awesome. And just having a 6-cost weapon with all these great abilities. Like, we would run, I think it's called Zolta Exile, the 2/2 for 3 with Endurance and Aegis. We would run that if we're running a deck with this, like with Origin Port, just to have that like little bit more protection. Like, it would be runnable because like this is a great weapon. We definitely need some fixing. We'd want to be in 2 colors if possible, unless one of those colors was time. So yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy. It's a really good legendary to get. I think it's fun and great. Okay, so that's exciting. Biting Winds is pretty solid right there. Static Discharge is not something I'm super excited about. Double Helix is okay. I'm not super high on the card personally, but I haven't played it often enough to just be able to say straight up I don't like the card. It's not runnable. Platinum Kieran, I like this card a lot, but I'm a lot lower on it than before I knew that you get the Eternity Core in hand. Because I used to think it was on the battlefield. I was wrong. Token of Purpose tokens are nice. Touch of Purity is pretty solid. Actually, no. I'm getting confused because I was listening to the Misplay podcast's latest episode of Farming Eternal, which was talking about how great Touch of Purity is. It actually is card disadvantage, like, but the lifesteal, I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably not the greatest card in draft. I probably won't run it, is what I'm getting at. And then Corpse Bloom, again, I don't know if we need that many corpse blooms, but we have them. Alright. Oh, a token of destruction, that's pretty nice. If we're in, especially if we're in the whole sacrifice deal. I love Felrock's Infiltrator. That card is awesome. It's not like super powerful, but as far as Shadow is concerned, it's really good. And this would be a card we're kind of interested in running with that deck that we're running the timepiece in. So yeah, like that's awesome. Just like if we can buff it up, like we can get that Mastery 5. That just makes the card even more powerful. And then the combo of having great defensive ability like Deadly, and a great offense ability like Unblockable. Kind of the only problem that it's suffering from is like, well, actually it's suffering from 2 problems. One, it's a 1/1 for 3, which is pretty weak. On the other hand, it has a lot of abilities, and then okay, so what are the other disadvantages? It has kind of like a identity crisis going on. But it doesn't really matter because it just gives you versatility. It's like you could say it's identity crisis, like it doesn't know if it wants to be defensive or aggressive, but that helps in a sealed pool because it lets you like build whichever way you want. Like it fits into both decks, so that's cool. Soul Drain Smithing, that will run that if we're in Armory and we need to be able to, like we have enough weapons to really be able to go for that. If we're playing against Mill, it'd be nice to get a timepiece from our discard pile, like have a second chance at that. We're in Stone Scar, or a combination of. Back time. I feel like it's though. Okay, so it has one more cost, and it does give Void Bounce. So that's kind of like a disadvantage, but it gets any type of card. So that's where it kind of sits against Soul Drain Smithing. This gives it to each weapon. So if we're running a lot of weapons, like that gets really good. I didn't read that part of the card. Contaminated Ritual isn't really like super where we want to be. I feel like it's not super strong. I'm basically reading the cards. This part of this is just telling you what I'm excited for and like get my brain kind of focused around what we're gonna be running. Just a quick side note: Inferno Zealot's awesome. Like I saw Inferno Zealot today doing some awesome, crazy stuff. So I'm actually kind of excited for this card right now. Like I've seen it do some stuff. It's pretty cool. Two-Face, 2 cost 2/2 with Deadly. That's playable right there if that was just the card. But it also has synergy with your mill strats. So that's pretty cool. And then Timidity, I think it's great if you're in kind of a control-y build. Burning Core Drake is one of my favorite cards right now. Like it is on my radar and it is fun and it is cool. And it's a great card. And I think it's really well designed. Really, really well designed. Inner Piece Ascendant. I haven't heard a lot like about this card. Like I don't see it come up a lot, but I think it's a really solid card. I think it's just maybe it's getting underrated, or I don't know. It just has so much going on. It's really good. And a Bodhi and Rocks is a great pickup. If we're in time, that's just awesome. But we did get 2 Corpse Blooms. I think I would run Bodhi and Rocks over Corpse Bloom, but it's just we don't want to get a bunch of 7 drops that we're not going to run unless we're like doing a ramp strategy. Just crank that out. I'm curious. Okay, Strange Rider. Man, I like this card. And Huru. That's excellent. So okay. So I know it's going to seem like it no matter what because we're in sealed and we're opening booster packs, but it feels like we're all over the place with what we're getting. So we'll have to look at the pool and really evaluate it. And what's going to happen after this? I'm gonna cut, and then when we get the final product, I'm going to show you what we got as far as final product after I've cranked out the kind of build that I'm comfortable and happy with. And then after that, we're going to go from the build, evaluate, okay, so this is what I kind of threw together, here were some other cards I was thinking about, and then we'll jump into games.